Happy Homecoming Week here at the University of South Carolina. My name is Jabari Bodrick, and I work in the Leadership and Service Center here at the university. This is the 10th annual Community Partner Breakfast. It was started back in 2007 by a man named Dr. Jimmy Gahagan, and with the support of what was then the Office of Student Engagement and some AmeriCorps Vistas and the OSC staff. They put together this event that was designed to show appreciation for all the great work, the great and selfless work that's going on here in the Midlands. And so we thank Jimmy. He works at the Virginia Commonwealth University now, but we thank Jimmy for establishing this event. So we have some new things this year. We have the, I think they're called martini tables. I don't know what they're called, the elevated tables. We have those now. I don't know what they're called. We also have a nice little fancy backdrop here, so feel free to take pictures in front of it. We had music from Sam McPherson. Please follow him and talk to him afterwards. He's one of our students here. He's a junior. So if you like what you heard, please contact Sam and book him for your events. Please give him an applause. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and so Service Learning recently moved from the Office of Service Learning and Community Engagement into the Leadership and Service Center. And so if you're here afterwards at 10 o'clock, we extended the length of the event as well to make it an hour longer to give everyone a chance to network. So if you'd like to see the space, we love to show it to you. We absolutely love to show it to you. But this type of work is impossible to do without the support of the leadership across our campus. And one of our biggest leaders is Dr. Sandra Kelly, who is our Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Please welcome Dr. Kelly to the stage.
Good morning. I really want to extend my sincere welcome to all of you, to our community partners. I see a lot of people from the university here as well. I hope you all really enjoy your breakfast as well as talking with each other, exploring ways to interact. I think this is a really lovely activity. I came here last year for the first time, and it's just got such a good energy about it. I so appreciate our community partners coming out and reaching out to the university. It's so important, I think, that the university reaches out to community and there's lots of interaction back and forth. Most of the community partners here are very much providing huge, important services to the community, often for special populations, veterans, the homeless, abused women, those types of populations that so desperately need those of us who can to reach out and give them a hand. USC's mission is, of course, at its very core, to produce new scholarship as well as to educate the next generation. Our students are so important to us. The reason that I wanted to actually talk today is really to highlight how you, as community partners, can help us with that mission. As Dean of Undergraduate Studies, my focus is really on the undergraduate education, but really education of all our students. We have roughly 34,700 students in the USC Columbia campus. 26,000 of those are undergraduates. We know the quality of the education that we give them is so important as they go out to be the leaders, the educated population. We also know very importantly that experiential learning is so important to their success. And experiential learning includes service learning, very much so. Why do we think that's important? First of all, of course, it's a good thing. Service learning, our students doing service is a wonderful contribution to the community. But again, from a USC perspective, we also know when students engage in those kinds of activities, they're more likely to stay in school. They have better GPA. They graduate, they're more likely to graduate. We know that they do better in the work world as well. We know that that is key in some ways to us making sure that the next generation is educated, compassionate, and ready to basically change the world if they can. So I wanted to talk a little bit. I see USC Connect is here a little bit. In 2012, the USC Connect office was formed. Irma Van Scoy is the executive director. This was an office that was focused on integrative learning, which includes experiential learning as a part of that, and to really start promoting it to our students. In the exploration of how to do that, USC developed something called Graduation with Leadership Distinction. This is something that actually goes on the transcript of a student. I can't emphasize to you how important that is. It means that it has learning in it. It has an academic component, and it's important. It includes courses, it includes enhancement activities like workshops, but it also includes some kind of experiential learning. We have a number of different categories, but some are particularly relevant to that group. One of them is Graduation with Leadership Distinction and Community Service. Another one would be Graduation with Leadership Distinction, I'm going to call it GLD from now on, in Diversity and Social Advocacy. The other one is Professional and Civic Engagement. We also have Research and Global Studies, perhaps not as relevant to this group. But those three tracks, if you will, for GLD for our students are well-formed, and our students are advised in ways to engage in those activities. Importantly, for example, GLD and community service, the students are required, in order to graduate with that distinction, to engage in 300 hours of community service. That's not trivial. That means that they have to, and it has to be focused in roughly 2 different programs. The GLD in Diversity and Social Advocacy, there's 200 hours of immersion in or service to a community that experiences societal challenges, and I'm sure all of you can think of what those communities in our community are. The GLD in Professional and Civic Engagement requires leadership experience of various sorts, and again, supervised work or professional experience that can be part of a class, but outside the classroom as well. Again, we know these types of experiences for our students, when they integrate those experiences with what they're learning in the classroom, with what they're doing, is very powerful. The students in GLD have to complete a e-portfolio and really do a lot of reflection. What I wanted to really kind of make the point here is, though, is how you can help us educate our students as our students work in your organization. Think about ways to enhance their learning while they do that. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you do this naturally. I'm pretty sure. But sometimes it's better to do it intentionally and to really kind of focus on how you do it. So we know that if students engage in activity, it really has to be some kind of sustained activity. So don't be afraid to demand that type of commitment. 45 hours is a good kind of cutoff there. And the students need to be intentional about it. So, ask them, why are you doing this? How does this fit with your career plan, your academic, or your life plan? It doesn't have to be their career. How does it fit with your life plan? What are you going to do with this experience? They need to be supervised, obviously, but that supervision helps them engage in those activities. And finally, I really encourage you to get those student volunteers who are helping you out there in the community to reflect on their experience. We know this is so important, that they actually engage in self-reflection and figure out kind of why are they doing it, how has it impacted them, how is it going to change their life plan, how is it going to change their career plan. These are really important. We are in the midst, and hopefully we'll be rolling it out in the fall, of basically expecting all of our students to engage in high-impact experiential learning. That includes service learning. So we're hoping that all of our students will at least do one of these types of experiences, and I hope that many of them do it with your community organization. There'll be ways for them to track it. So when your student volunteers ask for a letter documenting what they do, now you know what it's for. And so please help them out with that. But also really think about how are you going to help them learn from this experience. So not only do they give to the community, but you can give back to the students. When you do that, they go on to become adults who know how to give to the community. That's the next generation that we're trying to train. We do the education piece, but we also need your help to help them integrate what they do outside the classroom into their education. So those are really my remarks, and I hope I get a chance to talk to many of you when we have our networking after breakfast and after the program kind of thing. But again, really appreciate all that our community partners do, and I look forward to working with you as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I also forgot to mention that this is also being recorded, so we're going to put this event on our YouTube channel. It hasn't been recorded since the second annual Community Partner Breakfast, and it's on VHS. So if any of you have a VCR, I would love to watch. The event. So we're going to debut our inaugural Excellence in Service Learning Faculty Award, and today we're going to honor 4 faculty members who have made meaningful and measurable contributions to the Midlands through their service learning courses. I'm not going to speak too much about them because I have a tendency to be long-winded. I don't want you to hear it from them. And so our first honoree is, I was supposed to do that. Before we get into that, the Leadership and Service Center has annual awards in the spring to honor faculty, staff, student organizations for their leadership and service in the community. And Quinyana Brown won the Outstanding Faculty and Staff and Volunteer Award. Is Quinyana in the building? She's in the back. Raise your hand, please. Everybody. We just wanted to formally acknowledge her in a room of her peers. So thank you for your work here in Columbia. So our first winner is Dr. Olga Ivashkevich. She's an art professor, associate professor. She couldn't be here today, but as you can see, she stopped by the Leadership and Service Center and got her picture taken. She was very excited. It's a nice plaque. It's a very nice plaque. And then Karina and Quinandria walked to McMaster College here on campus to record her acceptance speech. And so we'll let you all hear it.
Really honored to receive this award, and I think it's a very big honor for me, but I really need to thank my students because they are the ones who go out and work with our community partners. I am teaching a class entitled Art of Children. So in this class they are learning about children's art and children's artistic development through the hands-on experience. They are learning a lot about theory, but this is a practice component of the class, and it's really helping them to connect the knowledge that they're learning from different authors and readings to real-life knowledge. But also it's about service learning, so it is also about connecting to the community partners and the settings that they are working with. So that's a double challenge basically, because they have to conduct and plan art activities that are relevant for the kids and figure out which activities would work best at those particular settings. So we work with 3 community partners at this point. 2 of them are long-standing. We work with Boys and Girls Club, with one of the biggest units of Boys and Girls Club. It's Ben Arnold, and it's off Rosewood Drive, so it's pretty close to campus. It's convenient for students, and it's the biggest club, so they have about 60 kids there. And we also work with St. Lawrence Place Shelter. It's in North Columbia, and it's another wonderful partner. It's a family shelter for kids and their parents. So they have a very safe environment for children there who stay there after school. And they focus on literacy, they focus on arts, and they focus on overall development of children and just feeling of safety. And our new community partner, thank you to Ms. Q for introducing this partner to us. We've been having a good time with them. It's Ezekiel Ministries Children's Center. It's another great after-school program for at-risk children, and they operate Monday through Thursday after school. So basically, The challenge that my students have is to design 6 lessons that could be meaningful and engaging. And of course, working with the kids, they have to be sensitive about kids' needs and the needs of our community partners. As I said, that's double challenge. I don't want to talk more about it because that would be a long talk. I just want to read an excerpt from one of my students' papers. They do write extensive field notes on site documenting their experiences. They have lots of research questions they need to answer, but they also reflect on what do they learn as future teachers from this service learning experience. And this is one of the excerpts from a student paper. The biggest thing I can say about my 6 weeks with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club is that I am amazed at how much I was able to learn from them in such a short amount of time. During our first week, Trey asked me, "Why do you guys care so much about our favorite things?" And that question was stuck with me throughout the entire fieldwork service learning experience. It's amazing how quickly you can become connected with these kids and really develop a relationship where you really care about them in their lives. In the end, it became that I wanted to know about them because I cared about them. What was important to them became important to me as we got to know one another. When Trey asked me this question, I didn't have an answer for him. But it's amazing how easily this simple question ended up reflecting my feelings about my entire service learning experience. From all of these kids, I learned that it is so much more than drawing, coloring, or art making. We were able to bond over the conversations we had while they were working. They didn't realize it, and neither did I until now. But their willingness to open up and really communicate with me was something that the art that they were working on was able to inspire. It was common ground. It gave us something to talk and to laugh about. It was a way for them to express things that their words couldn't say. As a future teacher, I find the experience invaluable because it's taught me so much about making those important connections with children. So thank you so much for this honor again, and I want to thank my wonderful students who are doing such wonderful work with our community partners. Thank you.
The next faculty member we'd like to honor is Dr. Shelley Jones, who taught the first, and to my knowledge, the only service learning class being offered at Palmetto College. As you can see, our awards are still fresh in the plastic, ready to go. Shelley, please come to the stage.
Set it down for a moment. Thank you, Jabari. What an honor to have been chosen as an inaugural winner of the Excellence in Service Learning Faculty Award. The nature of my work means I'm usually not in front of large groups of people like this. Most of my teaching is online or at a distance through two-way video, including the service learning class that I developed for which I'm receiving this award. It's been a 2-year process, but the course is now officially part of the curriculum for the 2 interdisciplinary degrees offered through Palmetto College. My desire to offer students service learning opportunities has given rise to a course wholly dedicated to service learning, in which we not only partner with community agencies to complete service projects, but also explore theories of service learning while immersing ourselves in the community need at the heart of our work. Teaching service learning in an online format has required, should we call it, creativity. It's meant working with community partners to develop service projects that can be completed by students, sometimes living time zones away, who are completing hours in their pajamas after work and putting kids to bed. Students have written summer curriculum for a camp offered by a nonprofit providing transitional housing for families moving from homelessness to homes. They've created proposals for volunteer recruitment, retention, and training, revised websites, developed data dashboards for statewide library systems, organized literacy events, and even proposed an emergency aid plan for Palmetto College students experiencing sudden hardships. As a course that's part of the core curriculum for 2 of Palmetto College's bachelor degrees, service learning is now an educational cornerstone for many of our students. And it has been met with nothing but enthusiasm from students, faculty, and administration. So I'd like to take a moment to thank those who have helped realize this option for students. I want to thank Chancellor Elkins for her support to have service learning as an integral part of the curriculum, Dean Nesmith, who's here today, for championing this idea and helping to herd it through the arduous process of approval, Director Bodrick and his office for always answering questions, providing support and insight, to the community partners who've been willing to collaborate on projects that require creativity and flexibility, and Palmetto College and Columbia faculty who saw the value in service learning for our students, and especially to the students who've taken the course. I always learn when I teach, but I've never learned as much as I have from this course, and I think my students would agree, so thank you.
Our next winner is Dr. Minuet Floyd. Dr. Floyd works with students locally with the Young Artist Workshop, and she's also taken some of her students, about 15 of hers back in 2014, to Ghana to work with the Ghanaian students on art and art appreciation. Dr. Floyd, please come to the stage.
When I first learned that I was receiving this award, it was by email, and when I first opened that email, I thought that it was about a presentation that I will be doing with Dr. Bodrick on next week, and so I had to do a double take because it was totally exciting for me. So I'm extremely honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you for those who nominated me, hi Teresa, and those who supported my nomination. I have to thank all of the art education majors who taught children in the Young Artist Workshop program, as well as the students who selected my study abroad trip to Ghana. I am so grateful to continue to be involved in 2 wonderful service learning programs. And I have to say first, by talking about the Young Artist Workshop program, I did not start that program. I took that program over in 1998 as a course that I teach here at USC called the School Art Program. And when our art education majors enroll in that class, they also have to take the practicum component, which is 1 credit hour. And that practicum component is teaching children on 7 Fridays in the Young Artist Workshop program. So that program takes place on Fridays between 4 and 5:30. So if you're around tomorrow, it'll be happening in McMaster College on the 2nd and 3rd floor. And so, let's see, what did I want to say about it? And so basically, my students prepare lessons. They can choose to use lessons that they have designed in other classes that they've taken in their art education program. And then they can adapt those lessons to fit the age grade level that they will be teaching in the Young Artist Workshop. So each lesson centers around an overarching, enduring idea, and then that's the umbrella, and then they design a series of lessons which connect to one another. And so they introduce those lessons in class on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then on Fridays they introduce them to students. So they have an opportunity to get feedback from their peers as well as myself before they teach children on Fridays. So we have children who come from the community, some come from Aiken. We cater to homeschooled environments as well. So it's just been a great experience, and I can look around this room and I see a few people and friends whose children have come to the program. And so I really am grateful for all of the parents of the children who come to this program. Okay. And so on the 7th Friday, that's the exhibition reception. So this year, the reception will be held on November 17th. And it's just, again, it's a great opportunity for my students to feel to get that opportunity to teach children before they move into student teaching and before they move into teaching full-time. Secondly, study abroad. So I had an opportunity to take students abroad in 2006. I led a trip to London. It was a 2-week Maymester course. And then in 2014, I had an opportunity to take students abroad to Ghana. And I really wanted it to be focused on service learning. So I was I'm grateful that at the time we had a new faculty member here, or a staff member here at USC, Teresa Harrison, who's sitting here. She was my assistant leader. And so it was just a wonderful opportunity for the students. We had 15 students who traveled with us, and the whole purpose was to provide art experiences, and also the main goal is for them to be able to establish and have dialogue with children. So we selected children's books to take with us, and then we prepared a variety of art experiences, not necessarily so that they ended up with a product, but it was more about the process, so that the children who, some of them were in a school environment, and then some were in an orphanage, but it was connected to a school. So they had opportunities to just break the ice and then have dialogue with children while making art. And so some of it involved our students having an opportunity to just on the spot come up with activities, come up with ways to engage the children. They danced with the children. They jump rope. It was just, some of it they had to just come up with, because we did not know the entire environment that we were placed in until we were there. So the students knew that they had to be prepared, whether it was an art experience or whether it was another experience for them. Let's see. So this coming, and I have to just put this quick plug in. So I'm in the process of planning another study abroad trip to Cape Town, South Africa for next May of 2018. And so it will be centered around art making experiences again. And because I learned so much from the first trip, and it was such a great experience for the students who traveled with us there, I'm building on what happened in 2014 as we prepare to take students abroad in 2018. Let's see. So in closing, I believe in the power of the arts. Art is important because other humans are important, and it allows us to understand each other. That is why I believe in this type of service learning. I cannot say enough about the importance of service learning and the impact it can have on the lives of students, faculty, and the community. Thank you so much.
All right. Our next winner is Dr. Mary Baskin-Waters, who works in women's studies. And I wanted to read you all the organizations that her students have worked with, but I can't find the list. I can't find a list, everybody. She works with a lot of organizations. Dr. Baskin-Waters, please come to the stage.
Good morning. I've so far have been so impressed with the recipients of these awards, and it is my great honor to receive this award, and thank you, Jabari, for this. When I was asked 10 years ago by the Women's and Gender Studies program to teach women in society a service learning approach, 112, I was excited that I would be able to combine my love of teaching in the classroom with my love for serving the Columbia community. Since then, I have taught over 600 students and worked with over 100 partner site organizations and their liaisons. This semester, my service learning students are partnering with exemplary local organizations such as Homeless No More, St. Lawrence Place that Dr. Olga talked about, the HIV/AIDS Health Foundation, Planned Parenthood of South Carolina, SC Equality, and they do amazing work for the LGBTQ community, Sexual Trauma Services, the Women's Rights and Empowerment Network, or WREN, and they do amazing work legislatively for women's reproductive rights, Junior Achievement, the Carolina Survivors Clinic, and they work with refugees, Ronald McDonald House, and the Queer Cola History and Digital Archives Project, which is a new project spearheaded by Travis Wagner, and they are collecting and preserving the history of our LGBTQ community in Columbia. But it is these students and these organizations and their liaisons that have made this course successful. I am so proud to receive this reward on behalf of them. Collectively, the students at 450 hours per semester and over 9 years have put in over 18,000 hours of service for the Columbia citizens that need our help, and that's just my course. So all of the other courses combined, it's in the tens of thousands of hours that these incredible students put into the Columbia community. So I'm constantly gratified that these local community organizations have been able to benefit from the enormous talents of the University of South Carolina students, and that the relationship has been reciprocal. Over the years, I have seen my students grow both professionally and personally as a result of their service learning experiences. I believe the service learning curriculum, model of study, action, and reflection has greatly increased my students' chances for success as they enter the workforce. I try to encourage my students to take every opportunity, see the value in it, and make the most of the experience. Service learning is a valuable opportunity, and the experience is priceless. So thank you, Women's and Gender Studies Program, Dr. Ed Madden, and thank you, Dr. Bodrick, and the USC Leadership and Service Center. I'd also like to thank my husband, Sam, who's in the audience, because family is always so important for the support systems that we all need. And I'd also like to thank Nolan Johnson. She's my GIA, my graduate instructional assistant, and the work that they do supporting this course is truly amazing. And I really appreciate the university providing me with that support. And so thank you, thank all of you for being here, and I'm deeply appreciative and very honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karina Samano, and I am the AmeriCorps Vista in the Leadership and Service Center. This year, there are 2 recipients of the Excellence in Service Learning Award. The Excellence of Service Learning Award is presented to community partners that have worked to support the University of South Carolina's service learning and community engagement efforts. They have also enhanced the quality of life in the community in meaningful and measurable ways. These awards will be presented in no particular order. And our first award goes to Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services. Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services was formed in 1985 to help South Carolinians fight the war against AIDS and offers free services to people who have been diagnosed with or are at risk of contracting HIV/AIDS. PALS has worked to support USC service learning and community engagement in numerous ways for students in both public health and social work. Students have gained practical, real-world experience through internships, practicums, and volunteer experience. As an instructor who teaches courses that incorporates a service learning component, and this is from Dr. Hickey, I am appreciative of the opportunity afforded to students by a community organization like PALS that teach students the value of serving others. PALS helps with practice-based learning that equips students to work effectively in their respective fields upon graduation. And on behalf of PALS, please help me welcome Carmen Hampton Julius. Of course. Congratulations.
Good morning. On behalf of the consumers, staff, volunteers, and board of directors of PALS, I thank you for this honor. PALS has been working in the community for about 32 years, providing education, health, housing, and other human services to very vulnerable populations. We've often had to do this in an environment where our consumers faced stigma and sometimes felt shame because of an illness. We have been working all of these years to ensure that persons are living with HIV rather than dying from it. We still have much work to do. We're still facing extremely high rates of HIV in some communities. We still here in the Midlands are working to fund prevention services and services that expand access to care for persons living with HIV. We want to be able to end HIV. We are currently part of a statewide movement, a campaign to end AIDS. We are appreciative of the partnership of many of you in this room over 32 years. We are looking forward to new partnerships from many of you in this room, and we really thank you for this honor today.
Right, and our second award goes to the Good Samaritan Clinic. The Good Samaritan Clinic provides free medical and dental services as well as health education workshops for surrounding community. The Good Samaritan Clinic is well known to many students at USC, as for most, it is the site where they first get to practice their Spanish speaking skills. Whether as a student in a course with a requirement to acquire a certain number of hours of Spanish speaking practice, or as a student volunteer in the Amigos del Buen Samaritan, a USC student organization that volunteers their services exclusively at this site, they are all able to contribute to the health and welfare of our local Hispanic population through their willingness to step outside their comfort zones and speak Spanish. On behalf of the Good Samaritan Clinic, please help me welcome Dr. Chris Goodman.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and these are our two medical directors, Dr. Chris Goodman and Dr. Emilio Perez. And between the three of us, we will keep it less than 5 minutes, I promise, but all three had something we wanted to say. But it is a tremendous honor to accept this USC Excellence in Service Learning Community Partner Award. That is a mouthful. But on behalf of our board, our staff, and most importantly, our many, many awesome, wonderful volunteers, we appreciate from the bottom of our hearts to accept this award. Our heartfelt thanks to the Learning and Service Center, who chose us this year as one of the recipients. Thank you. On any given day, our clinics have around 7 students volunteering, and they do things like, main thing is they interpret for our Hispanic patients, and they also help in triage, assisting our RNs, and they also will maybe do some administrative tasks like filing, copying, answering the phone, making appointments for patients. They have very important roles, and we could not do without them. I did want to recognize a few students who have just been amazing in their passion and their commitment to the clinic. And so I'm not sure if they're all here, just a few. If they are, if you will just wave, or maybe just stand up real quick and sit back down. Catherine Watkins, I don't believe is here today. She's a busy girl. She graduated from USC in May of 2017, but she began volunteering through USC with Good Samaritan Clinic in 2014. So we had just the great pleasure of having her with us for several years. But after she graduated, she stayed on with us, and she headed up, oversaw, and managed our transition from electronic health records, or from paper records to electronic health records. And at this point, we are 95% complete in having our records transitioned, and we could not have done it without Catherine. Absolutely could not. Catherine Shire, are you here today? Just stand up real quick, and then you can sit back down. Catherine has also been very helpful in our transitioning to electronic health records, and her passion for the clinic's work was such that she arranged her schedule here at USC so that she could be with us every Tuesday and Thursday. Now that is commitment, and that is passion. Thank you, Catherine. And then, yes, you can clap. And Hanson Cohen, are you here today? There's Hanson. Hanson is a second-year community service ambassador who, although is only required to put in 150 hours per year, has put in already over 250 hours this past year. So again, thank you, Hanson, for your commitment and your passion for the clinic. So volunteering and helping others is at the very core of us being human. And without a doubt, everyone in this room at one time will be in a place in their life when they need help from someone else. It's sad but true. We all need help. And because of USC and your students' commitment is making a difference in the lives of others, you may one day be helping each other, but there will come a time when we all need help. And what you're teaching here at USC is amazing, to be able to prepare these students to step into those gaps and help others. So we thank you very much, and thank you the volunteers that are here. I believe there are many other volunteers from Good Samaritan. Thank you.
I'll just make this very brief. Thank you for the award. But, a lot of the students here and volunteers, I want you to take away this. We are in the medical field. There's a lot of injustice, a lot of discrimination in the medical field. We depend on young people like you to go out and fight the injustice. Stand up, take a knee, or whatever you do for the injustice and the discrimination. We have a very good healthcare system, but we don't deliver it very equally to people. So please help us. We need help from you guys to fight this. Thank you.
And I'm Chris Goodman. I'm on faculty with USC. I think that's how I got the sort of connection on this. Of course, Shane is our medical director, our executive director, and spoke first. Serve on the boards as a volunteer But 10 years ago, I was also a student, and I was a student volunteer at the Good Samaritan Clinic. And it's people like Dr. Navarrete, who's been the heartbeat and the founder of the Good Samaritan Clinic. And then, now years later, Shannon, her leadership, Gina Gresham. I don't know if Gina's here. I didn't see Gina. Hey, Gina. People who, want to have students. And that's not something that necessarily comes natural to a lot of people. It does take time. I remember when I was a student, and I really wasn't that helpful, but wanted to be there, and I think they recognize the value in human resources and building up people who can be there and can help, and then hopefully, like many of you, could one day come back and be a nurse, physician, translator in our clinics. And I want to second what Emilio said here. It's a difficult political climate now, and I'm sure for a lot of our community partners, you have that kind of same sentiment. And this is what the really part of the value in the service learning, Jabari, your office really elevating the profile of recognizing there's only so much learning you can get done inside the walls. You've really got to get out. And when we think about the current political climate, service learning goes a long way in terms of exposing students and faculty, to different people, different thoughts, and really breaking down barriers. So it's really important. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for the award.
Good morning, everyone. Are we awake? Yeah? Good morning. My name is Conandra Lee, and I am a graduate assistant in Leadership and Service Center. This year, there are 2 recipients of the Excellence in Service Learning Student Award. The Excellence in Service Learning Student Award is presented to students who have demonstrated an outstanding commitment to service learning and who have made meaningful contributions to the Columbia community. These awards will be presented in alphabetical order by recipients' last names. The first recipient is Austin Cole. As a second-year student, Austin Cole has already shown a deep commitment to his campus and community. In addition to many leadership positions he's held, including Deputy of Health and Wellness for Student Government, Austin also has a heart for service. This past summer, Austin served as an AmeriCorps Vista Summer Associate. He dedicated over 350 hours of community service in 10 weeks at Food Share, a nonprofit that creates access to fresh, affordable food in the Midlands. This semester, Austin continued his partnership with Food Share by giving students experiencing food insecurity the option of purchasing an affordable box of produce on campus through the Gamecock Food Pantry. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Austin Cole.
Good morning, faculty, staff, students, community agency representatives, and other guests. My name is Austin Cole, and I'm a second-year student here at the University of South Carolina. I'm very honored to receive this Excellence in Service Award given out at the 10th Annual Community Partner Breakfast. For the next couple minutes of your time, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into my passion for service and how the University of South Carolina has helped me fully explore this passion. Service has been a major part of my life for as long as I can remember. As an elementary school student, I would often volunteer at the local Humane Society walking dogs and cleaning cages. During middle school, I volunteered at an injured bird rehabilitation center in my town. During high school, I jumped on board with any and every service project that my school offered. Service has always been, for me, giving back to the community and helping other people who have not had the opportunities that I've had. Service, in its best form, service is the best way to impact someone's life and to see your impact directly. The process of working in communities in which I am passionate about has helped me meet so many new people, experience so many new ideas, and see different points of view. As someone who's been given many opportunities, it's always important for me to give back to those who've not been given as much. While my high school experiences were all over the place, the University of South Carolina has helped me find the area in which I wish to serve in the future. In the very beginning, the first semester of my freshman year, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, I just happened to take a nutrition service learning class, and Jabari talked in front of our class. And I was introduced to Harvest Hope Food Bank, which I volunteered for the most of my freshman year, and then I was hooked. At the end of my freshman year, I applied to become an AmeriCorps Student Vista, which I did over the summer with Karina, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Like I said, I worked at Food Share, which is an organization in Columbia. It's kind of smaller. It partners with the local Palmetto Richland Hospital, and it deals with food insecurity among much of the Columbia partnership. And through that partnership, I've been able to translate that to my work here in student government with Gamecock Pantry. So USC has provided me with innumerable opportunities to engage with the community. I'm honored to be up here receiving this award today, but I could not be here without the support of my friends at USC, as well as the help with Dr. Bodrick and Ms. Karina. Thank you so much, and I look forward to serving my community in the future.
Our next recipient is Olivia Goodwin. Olivia is a freshman biology major here at USC. She works as a mentor to one of these children at St. Lawrence's Place. She agreed to be paired with a particularly difficult child who has experienced a lot of trauma in her short life, and she desperately needs one-on-one attention. Olivia did not just agree to mentor this girl, but she was excited about the opportunity. Olivia displayed her commitment to the child in St. Lawrence Place by going there 3 times a week throughout the semester. She was described as being reliable, consistent, and possessing a heart of service. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Olivia Goodwin.
It's so pretty. Thank you. Good morning. I am so very humbled to be receiving such an award. Through my service learning class here at USC, which is Women in Society, I have had the wonderful opportunity to volunteer with Homeless No More, which you may know as St. Lawrence Place. And Homeless No More takes families who are facing homelessness and offers programs such as housing and different things to get these families back on their own 2 feet. And within Homeless No More's after-school program, I mentor a wonderful, intelligent, colorful 8-year-old little girl. And even though I've got about 9-10 years on her, she's become my new little best friend. And through my time here with her, we work on homework, we work on issues with pertaining to how to control our anger and how to make and keep friends in school. And I absolutely love my time going. I look forward to going every day. As a child, my mother instilled in me that if you're not giving for others, you're never truly giving. And through service learning, my mother has never been more correct. This opportunity at USC has taught me so much about diversity and to be aware that there are so many different types of people. It's taught me to be open-minded and to just accept all walks of life. Within that, I would like to thank my professor, Dr. Waters, who also received an award that she so much deserved. Within her class, she has pushed me to excel. She has pushed me to complete assignments as to the best of my ability, and she is always eager to hear about my time at Homeless No More, which is super cool when you have a professor that's, asking you about what you're doing. I would also like to thank Ms. Stokes. Okay, hey, I see you. She is my site liaison. Thank you for being so kind to me, and I knew that when you came and talked to us in my service learning class, Homeless No More was definitely the place that I wanted to volunteer at. And thank you so much for nominating me. So I'm so honored. Thank you.
Could we get another round of applause for all the award winners tonight, tonight? I'd like to draw your attention to your folders. You should have some sort of survey to review the event. Please let us know how we could continue to improve this. and then leave those surveys on the table. Also, directly outside of the ballroom, we have a videographer who we would love to spotlight some of your work around Columbia. So if you're a student, community representatives, faculty, staff, and you'd like to share what service and community engagement means to you, please take 1 or 2 minutes to record a video. We really appreciate that. We'll share it through our social media channels. We encourage you to do the same through yours. Thank you all for being here today. I'd be remiss, I want to thank the Leadership and Service Center staff. Dr. Amber Hyatt's doing a fantastic job of leading us. I'd like to thank Quanandria Lee and Karina Samano for their ongoing work as we moved from Patterson over here to the Russell House to do our service learning work, and Dr. Jean Luna, who hired me to push forward the service learning efforts here at the University of South Carolina. Thank you for believing in me. Have more food, please stay until 10, and thank you all for coming.